walnuts in the front.
So we're now on to another style of sherry. We've been going through the various styles of sherries. We're now on to an old PaloCortado, very expensive wine, I believe this, in excess of £50 a bottle. Tell me about the style and tell me why it's so expensive.
Right, a PaloCortado is basically a very old sherry.
Yeah.
It has to be very old to be a good PaloCortado. You cannot make a 5 years old PaloCortado. There's no point.
It can be made, but there's no point.
I don't know whether it can be made. We've never done it.
No, because you're very quality driven.
But you know, the whole idea of a PaloCortado is something very special and very old.
Right.
And in fact, I don't know what the other producers do, but I tell you what we do. We select the very best. When you have a solera of Amontillado or a solera of Oloroso,
right,
a good Oloroso or a good Amontillado, you go through a very strong process of selection, and you pick the very best casks in the whole solera, put them aside,
right,
and leave them without touch, not taking wine away, not adding wine for as much as you can, as long a time as you can.
So this says aged 30 years. So you've done that for 30 years.
Well, this has a certificate by the Consejo Regulador stamp here, which certifies. The Consejo Regulador is the authority in the sherry industry, and they certify, after analysis and carbo dating,
yes, okay,
that this is minimum 30 years old.
Okay.
Minimum 30 years old. It can be 50 or it can be 80,
sure,
but what they warranty is that there's nothing here which is less
younger than
30. Yeah. Right? And so what we need is to start with a good Oloroso or a good Amontillado. In this case, it's an Amontillado, and put it aside and leave it for many, many years to mature and to get round and to get more concentrated, and then you get to this level of drink. This was a family reserve.
And there's no floor on this?
No, because we started with an old Amontillado,
exactly,
which didn't have already floor. I mean, it was floor when it was at the level of Manzanilla, but that was ages ago.
Yes.
And what we did is that we had a family reserve for us, which we never managed to drink, and we were losing wine by evaporation, as you can imagine. So what I decided is to put some bottles for sale, to raise funds for a charity project for the Imperial Eagle Trust,
okay,
which is a trust I launched to save the Imperial Eagle, a very scarce and endangered species in Spain. So, and we don't produce more than 1,000 bottles a year. We can't produce more than that. And we sell it for this charity. It's a very good wine, which I will produce on its own as a first glass. For example, on Christmas Day, when your friends arrive for lunch, just handle, because it's cold in those days, you handle a glass of PaloCortado without food. If you like to produce a food with it, I will produce some walnuts or roast almonds, but that's it, because it's so complex and so.
Well, I was going to say this taste here goes on and on and on in the mouth. I mean,
the taste is very
it's huge, isn't it? Yeah,
it's incredible. It took more than 7 generations of my family to produce it, so it should be.
Yes, well, that's interesting. No, that's an absolutely lovely wine. Thank you very much.
And but if you insist to match this wine with food, I would recommend a very old Manchego cheese, this kind of dry cheese that comes by.
I'm not insisting we should drink these wines with food. I'm just interested to know what they actually go with. And
yeah.
If you say this is probably better on its own as an aperitif.
Yes.
I mean, people use sherry as an aperitif all the time, but probably for the wrong reasons. And you're suggesting that actually these early ones that we've had in Amontillado, Manzanilla, Oloroso are better with food rather than on their own. Here we have one that you're saying actually on its own, or maybe with a little bit of almond or a little bit of.
This wine is so powerful that it will kill any food you match with.
Yeah.
So something like walnuts or very strong dry cheese like an old Manchego.
Yes, I can imagine that. I really can.
That will do.
But
very well.
that's a delicious wine.
Yeah, I don't smoke, but people who smoke say it's a good company for a good cigar.
Yes.
After a big
Okay.
dinner or banquet. Or
I have a good cigar occasionally, but I'm usually not in a state to actually notice the wine I'm drinking. Very nice, thank you.